Hello, my Food Mood friends. Welcome. How you doing? Chandra's Food Mood. So I want to talk about hard. It has been up lately in my personal world, if you're probably listening to a few of my clips here and there, and also in my clients' world of like hard to reach weight loss goals, hard to make business decisions that there's no really easy way out, hard to figure out what's going on with someone's sleep, hard to find like the focus. Like hard is part of life. It really is. My personal world has definitely had a lot of hard. My partner has a quote that he says, and I always mess it up, that hard times make good men, soft times make weak men. And there's like this kind of like this like vibe of like that hard is important and valuable and makes us stronger. And I for sure agree with it. And sometimes like it's hard. It's hard. It's hard when life is hard. If you
Welcome! Here is your hostess and coach, Chandra Zas, helping people make food and mood changes doable without missing out. Go ahead, high five that like button, subscribe and share while you're there.
So I want to offer like the most basic first step to when things are hard. And the most basic first step, and sometimes it's the hardest step, and sometimes it's the most important step. I think it's almost always the most important step if this is the first piece that you need. And it has to do everything with, we have a choice of either resisting the hard or accepting and even embracing the hard. I just listened to a great podcast by my coach teacher, Brooke Castillo, and she talked about enjoying the hard and how she really feels like what sets her apart from other people is that she really enjoys the hard. And there's something really to this. There's the normal reaction of resisting hard because our brains don't really like to feel uncomfortable. They don't like to do new things. They don't like to fail. They don't like to be uncomfortable. And so like working with our brain and knowing like that's the default reaction, and then actually moving into like, okay, it's okay that this is hard. This might mean that I'm like on the verge of something new, cool. This might mean like I'm on the right path, like, you know, a breakthrough's right around the corner, but like finding a way to drop the resistance, like something's gone wrong. It's not supposed to be hard. Dropping that and coming into like, okay, this is hard. Like, how can I embrace this? Because what happens is like when we're in that resistance, we're not problem solving really well. We're not thinking about like the useful options. And so like when our brain says like something's gone wrong and just like it seems so simple and it's so powerful, but just to like question that, find that thought in our brain and question and be like, what if nothing's gone wrong? What if this is exactly how it's meant to be? What if me having all these sleep troubles for the last year was the perfect thing for like adding this sleep component to my food program? Like that's one of the things that has felt very hard and wrong for me in my life. And I've really come to the side of being like, wow, this is a huge blessing, that everything that I just learned and like how I grew. But like in the moment, like it was hard. And I do remember like a couple shifting points where I was just like, okay, this is what it is. Now, how can I like embrace this and learn from it? And like getting into that learning part of our brain is crucial for growing, for moving forward, for moving through the hard. And so finding the way to like, instead of trying to avoid the hard, which is like what all of our defaults are, is actually just like really embracing it. I want to bring in like also an emotional component that I just had like a pretty intense talk with someone I really love, and they brought up to me that I haven't been the softest the last couple years. And I said, yeah, in all honesty, I definitely have been having a hard time and I haven't been myself 100%. And what they were sharing with me was that it was like really hard for them that I was not soft. And as I've been sitting and like listening and thinking about this conversation, I think a lot about like one of the quotes of Janet Lansbury's. And one of the things she says is that when kids are acting, you know, when they seem to be giving us a hard time, they're not giving us a hard time, they're having a hard time. And this phrase has just really made a difference in my parenting and also how I'm interacting with humans. Is like when we're not acting our best, when we're like flipping each other off or yelling or exploding, or, whenever we're like acting not soft and sweet and considerate, it's because we're having a hard time. Like every human wants to be sweet and soft, but sometimes we don't always have access to it. And so when someone in our life, like when my little one is having a hard time, like I have flagged that in my brain, and instead of me resisting her and feeling like, what's wrong with you? Like, why aren't you like acting better? Why are you giving me a hard time? I just like soften my heart. I get down to her level and I'm like, okay, she needs my help. She's having a hard time. Like, how can I help her through this? Like, she doesn't want to act, crazy. She doesn't want to scream. She doesn't want to, act out in her, I'm having a hard time. She wants to be a good kid. She wants us to be proud of her. She wants us to love her. And so I think that if we can like use this mindset and apply it to anybody and everybody in our life, of like, someone's giving us a hard time, like they probably need some help. They probably need a hug. They probably they're probably having a hard time. They're not trying to create a hard time for us.
Hello, my friend. How are you? I'm in the Dead Sea, floating in the water. Go ahead and like and share and follow so we can keep in touch.
Yeah, I probably will do another video on this topic, because it is definitely something that, I see. I think it's up right now. I think that this video will come out in December 2022, and I think there's a lot of hardness around. We just got back to California this year, and every year we've come back, like I've seen the homeless population increase, and now we're living in Reno and I see the homeless, and the recession and the economy, and even like the after effects of COVID, like there's a lot of hardness around. There's some hard moments for a lot of people. Not everybody. Some people are having it easier than others. But there's a lot of effects of these hard moments. And so what I just hope to offer is a little softness and a little embracing of the hard, and just making it a little more human and a little more real and a little more like, yeah, it's hard and it's okay, and we can make it, and drop the resistance. And someone in your life is having a hard time, I really encourage you to like reach out and offer them some help. Or if someone's not acting very soft and nice, like they probably need some help. So, and at least even knowing that in your mind can help you soften your feelings around them. So I wanted to offer that to you. Even if you don't have to help. I mean, I know one of the things that's like been hard for me about having a hard time is I don't feel like I have a whole lot to give. I feel like my resources, emotionally, energetically, they're primarily giving all to my business and my little one. And that is like pretty much all I got. And building up my resources and living and moving through what has been a powerful journey. And I think the next video I'm gonna do is gonna be outside in the park, because that has been one of the sanctuaries I have found in this journey of hardness, is like spending time on the earth, spending time. Rock climbing is amazing for me, but also just like sitting on the ground and being with the earth and watching the view. It's really good medicine. Yeah. So I hope you have a good week. I hope that if your week is hard, then I hope that this helps you remind you to just kind of soften a little bit. And if you can, even like, accept it, embrace it, and let your heart open, let your mind open to the possibilities, the solutions, and get out of that fight or flight. Something's going wrong here. It's a game changer for navigating hard moments and hard people. Yeah, and hard moments for hard people. And yeah, it's life. I'm happy to be doing life with you guys, and I'll see you next time. Hope you have a beautiful week.